الحين نبدأها. بالسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. معكم ميعاد ماهر من مجموعة المساند. إن شاء الله إن شاء الله الليلة حنبدأ بآيلتس Writing. زي ما قبل لكن ما نبدأ عايزين نشكر معاهد المهند للتدريب الإداري والقانوني على تعاونهم مع منصات المساند لأبناء الجالية السودانية بالإمارات. نخص الشكر للمدير العام للمعهد الأستاذ مصطفى مكي السنجاوي. في جروب على الواتساب بالإنجليزي. نزلوا أرقامكم على الشات، إن شاء الله نضيفكم في الجروب ده عشان تجيكم أي notification أو update عن الدروس أو الحصص بتاعتنا تحت الإنجليزي إن شاء الله. عارفة أنا الليلة أو قبل كده قلت لكم أو I said to some people, sorry خلينا نغير اللانجوج معاكم شوية. I said to some people before this that I want to keep writing at the very end. But I think I've also said to you all that in my opinion, writing is one of the hardest like categories in the IELTS exam. And I think some of you misunderstood that as it's very hard. No, يا جماعة, this exam contains, as you know, from 4 categories. And in my opinion, برأيي الخاص إنه writing is one of the hardest is the hardest out of all 4 of them. بس عامة يعني كامتحان it's very easy, it's very like good to get marks in, or like easy to get high marks in. And إن شاء الله الحصة دي حتريح بالكم شوية, و you can start and go ahead practicing some of the things that I will give you in this lesson. عشان I've noticed that some of you are sending me emails about some questions that you have and sending me typed out essays, and I wanted to clarify some points before I start about this stuff, that some of the things that you guys have been doing, just to make things clear between us. Today's objective, inshallah, we're going to know what does each score mean in the IELTS in general, because I feel like if you know what each score means, then the exam will seem a little bit easier than you guys might fear it to be, you know. And I think you're going to be very happy with the scores, since you might be able to compare yourself or put yourself in a certain score, and it will definitely make you feel a little bit more, you know, satisfied with yourself. We're also going to talk about the IELTS writing, what it is, and I'm going to be giving you some writing tips that I would like you to use from now on in all my classes when you're talking. These writing tips make you seem a little bit more sophisticated or sound more sure or confident with yourself. So in general, when I'm speaking to a friend, I will be talking like, hey, yo, what's up? How you doing? How's life? How's the kids? You know, not complete sentences. You're talking in phrases, normal everyday phrases. But when you're talking or using these writing tips, which are useful in reading, they're useful in speaking as well. When you're using them, you feel more sophisticated, as if like they would be good for you when you're talking to somebody a little bit higher ranked than you. For example, a boss, or even a president. So you would be talking more like, hello, yes, sir. It would seem a little bit more formal. You're going to be using better words, and it will make you seem a lot more confident, and it will raise your score. I'm pretty sure, if not by half, by a whole mark, since from like where you have already started. We're obviously going to have some practice questions, activities like last time, so that we can refresh every now and then, and I'm going to be expecting questions from you. Before I start, I want to say that, again, like every class, I need you guys to participate. Open up your mics. I see that some of you guys are participating, but at the very end of the class. Don't be shy. I won't be able to help you unless you participate from the very beginning. You won't be able to make mistakes, and you won't be able to learn from them. I need you to talk, participate, ask me questions. Don't be shy. If you don't want to mention your name and just say something that's in your mind, go ahead and say. Use the chat box. I'm going to try keep my eye on the chat box, but in general, I would like you guys to just talk and tell me any concerns you have. Now, about my Gmail, as I said to you, that I know some of you are going to do the IELTS soon. Like Mr. I think Jose over here and a couple of other people mentioned that they're going to be doing it in the next few months. Writing is like an issue, or is one of the hardest, because usually you don't have somebody that will check your work, or somebody equivalent enough or good enough to check your work and tell you where the mistakes are, or if not mistakes, if you don't have any mistakes, that will tell you how to make your writing better. The IELTS exam, they're looking for you to make your writing better, or the way that you write, they want it to look more sophisticated, as well have as little mistakes as possible. And usually you don't find a teacher that will give you these tips that will make your writing better. So I asked you guys to send me your work on Gmail, and I found out that some of you guys are having conversations with me about just IELTS in general. Please, if you want to talk to me or ask me any questions after class, go ahead and text me on WhatsApp, text me on the group. I will answer your questions gladly. On Gmail, I want you guys to send me your work, your writing work, if you want. You can also send it on WhatsApp, but Gmail is more preferable for me because I think I'll pay attention to it more. However, like I said, WhatsApp is fine too. I'm pretty sure most of you would like WhatsApp as well. So please send me your work on WhatsApp. Furthermore, I would like to say that any typed work, anything you type, I will not accept. I know it's a little bit strict, but the exam is written. You're going to have to write with your own like pencil and hands, you know what I mean? You're going to have to write with your hands. So I don't want you to type something in the computer or on your phone and then send it to me. I want you to write it down and send it to me. I have to check the way you write. I have to check your handwriting. I have to check the way that you spell things out without using autocorrect, like I know some of you are. I have to check the grammar and all of that. And when you're writing something down on a paper or a pencil, it is more clear, or your thought process will be more clear, and you write more words than you would when you're typing something out, especially with spelling. I have that problem, honestly. When I'm typing something, I make more spelling mistakes than when I'm writing something down. So please write down. I will not accept any work that's typed out. Now, before we begin, since I want to like clear the air between some of us, if you have some questions or so on, you can go ahead and open your mics. I want to do an activity with you guys where I want you guys to spot 5 differences in these pictures. However, I want you to tell me them in full sentences. For example, let's say Hello Kitty's tail on the right hand of the photo is smaller than it is on the left hand, or something like that. That's just an example. It's not one of the differences. Go ahead, open your mics and give me a full sentence. Differences, I guess. Anyone, go ahead. I would like you to participate.
The yellow circle on the floor on the right hand.
Please. Yes.
Excuse me.
Full sentences.
The right picture contains a yellow small circle with a flower.
Yes.
And I don't know what's called. I think it's girl's stuff. The thing she wearing in her head, it's also different, a little bit different.
It's fionka, a hair tie.
Or I don't. Yes, a hair tie.
Great job. Another way you could have said that maybe would have been, it's not like it's great the way you said it. I'm just trying to, upgrade the English, I guess. The circle on the right-hand side is present, while on the left-hand side is not present, for example. You can use, I want you to use better vocab as well, if you can. Somebody else? Someone else, the flower has been mentioned. What else can be mentioned about another like difference in between the both photos? You can go ahead and type the sentence out if you would like. إذا المايك بتاعكم خربان ولا حاجة افتحوا الكاميرا أو افتحوا الشات ورسل الرسالة بالإنجليزي يفضل طبعا. Can you describe it? Can you describe the difference?
Mouth of the cat in the right is a pink circle.
Yes,
Right. And the mouth of the cat in the left is looking like triangle.
that's correct. An upside down triangle. Great job. That was a great description. Great.
Alright.
And you almost used a grateful sentence. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so right now we found out three differences. The flower has a circle on the right hand side, but not on the left hand side. The fianco or hair tie on the cat's head has a different shape than the one on the opposite picture. And the mouth on the right hand side is circular compared to the one on the left hand side. All right, there are two more differences. You guys need a little bit of help. I'm helping you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't see any difference else.
I'm helping you. I'm helping you out. If you look at the mouse.
Yeah, I see the mouse.
Okay. Can you not see the difference?
Yes. Wait. No, there are three here and three there.
Yeah, but they're in different positions, aren't they?
Something behind them.
They're in different positions, yeah? So you can say the three lines are on the right hand, or على إيدك اليمين, on the right hand side, are on the outside of the picture or outside of the cat. However, on the left hand side, they are inside.
Yeah.
Yes, they're on the inside of the cat. That is one
Yes,
difference.
now.
All right,
One
last one.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and try.
Yeah, here it's I don't know how to say it, but
Try
it's
your
on
best.
floor. Yeah, it's on earth, but wait. Let me check how to say it. Can I say it in Arabic?
Go ahead. I'll translate it for you.
رجله الشمال على الأرض والثانية شوية رافعة عن الأرض.
That's true. Okay, so on the right photo, على اليمين, it's on the ground.
Yes.
On the left photo, it's above the ground. Or فوق الأرض. Okay, that's great. That's amazing. Great job. You did amazing. Does anyone have any questions for me before we go ahead and start with our objectives? أي سؤال عنده أي سؤال? Okay, so we're gonna start with the first objective, which is there you go. The first objective is to know what does each score mean in IELTS. هنا ده أنا here I'm going to read with you the score أو حقرأ معاكم السكورات دي وبعدين أنتوا عايزاكم تشوفوا خطوا نفسكم في واحد من السكورات دي يعني so you know what your level is out of the scores. I'm going to start at 0 as you know. That IELTS has the highest score is 9. Can everyone just give me a second before we start? All right. So I'm going to start with score number 0. Score number 0, that means you did not even do the exam, they did not attempt the exam or write it at all. ما حلك الامتحان كله. Number 1 is a non-user. You're not able to use the language except for a few words. ده عادة بيكون في السبيكينج أنا بتستخدمي بس كلمتين إنه yes, no, this, that. عارفين كل عادة يعني. Band 2 okay is intermediate user. You have a great difficulty understanding the spoken and written English. عندكم صعوبة في الفهم في الإنجليزي بتاع التحدث. أنا أظن الترجمة كعبة. والكتاب الإنجليزي الكتاب اللي قاعدة قدامكم. Band number 3, extremely limited user. Okay, you convey and understand only general meaning of very familiar situations. there are frequent breakdowns in communication. بيكون في عدم تفاهم بين الشخص والآخر لأنه بس يعني ما في فهم إنه كويس في اللغة يعني عامة. Band number 4, limited user. Your basic concept is limited with familiar situations. You frequently show problems in understanding and expression. You are not able to use complex language. عدم like, as you know, you're not able to use like hard sentences or hard words in general, and you're not able to express yourself as much as you would like to, or you're going to have difficulty in trying to form a sentence in general. Modest user, you have a partial command of the language and can cope with overall meaning in most situations. Although you are likely to make many mistakes, you should be able to handle the basic communication in your own field. I think most of the people in this chat are band number 5. Like 50% is band number 5, like according to what I've heard from. This is basically, you're able to use the English language, you're able to understand meanings, but you still make mistakes here and there, but you can communicate normally with a person of like interest, like the basic skills. Like for example, you can go to the grocery shop and buy things and say full sentences and you'll be fine. Band number 6, this is the other 50% that I think most of you are in. Well, not 50, let's say 49%, okay? Competent user, which is generally you have an effective command of the language despite inaccuracies, inappropriate usage, and misunderstanding. You can use and understand freely the complex language, particularly in familiar situations. أنا قاعد أقرأ سريع ولا كويس معاكم؟ So, generally, you can't use the language. You're going to have a few mistakes here and there, like when you're using difficult sentences, you can say, but you can generally understand what is going on. Band 7, which is a good user. This is my aim. In general, whenever I practice for IELTS for myself, I try to get to this score, and from there on, the other 2 scores are easier to get. And this is the score that usually universities, masters, countries, and work ask for, especially if it's like a second though, or not a native country. Okay, they ask usually for score number 7. That's why I aim for it, and that's why usually people want to aim for it too, which is a good user. You have an operational command in the language, though occasionally inaccuracies, inappropriate uses, and misunderstanding in some situations. Generally, you handle complex language well and understand detailed reasoning. You can understand almost everything, but of course, as a non-native speaker, you make a few mistakes here and there, but that's very normal, and that's as long as you can understand what is being said to you, and you can understand, or you can write and speak very well, this is what the score is. You're just a good user. Number 8 is a very good user. You have full operational command of the language, occasionally make some mistakes, and you misunderstand some situations. When let's say the difference between 8 and 7 is, let's say you have a 700-page book that you're reading. In band number 7, you will understand 50% of that book. In band number 8, you'll understand 70 or 80% of that book. Okay, the other percentage you won't understand. That's it. That's the only difference. There is nothing more. I think the difference here from band 7 to 8 is basically with speaking and writing mostly. That's how you can change from this number over here to this number, or from this score to this score. Band number 9 is an expert user. You have full operation of the, you can completely use the language. You have no mistakes. You're fluent and you can speak normally, and you can understand completely everything that's going on around you. I'm going to tell you this from now. Band number 9 is an easy mark to get. If you already are in like band number 6 or 7, it's an easy mark to get band number 9. But in general, if you go to a native speaker, if you go to somebody, لغة الأولى هي الإنجليزي, even they, like يعني عامة في الحياة عامة غير الامتحان, يعني غير الامتحان, nobody is band number 9. You don't even them they have mistakes. هم كمان بيعملوا أغلاط، هم كمان بيسووا كم حاجة غلط في الإنجليزي، إما كتابة يا إما كلام يا إما يعني حاجات تانية. Okay, nobody gets band number 9, but as an exam, it's easy to get this number. Once you get to level number 7, you just have to fix a few things, but band number 8 is amazing. It's great, and it's something that you should be very, very proud of, as well as band number 7. Okay, زي ما انتم عارفين في أنصاف طبعا, so it's like 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9, this 9. هنا وقفنا. You have any other question? You have questions about the bands or the levels? وزي ما قلت لكم, I want you guys to tell me what level or what score you think you are right now in your English. So maybe that we can help each other, or just so I know that where do you think you are. طبعا في ناس معانا شوية يقولوا إنه أنا band number 4 وهم أصلا بيكونوا band number 6. إنه ما تقللوا من نفسكم إنه you are better than this. So think of it, reread the things that you need to reread, وقولوا لي what band do you think you're in. I see some people commenting saying that they're band number 4 and 5. Why don't you open up your mic and speak up? Maybe I'll guess your band better than you. You will.
Okay, because I'm working. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yes, I'm working. I'm attending the meeting. I think I'm band 4 or 5 because I know my problem. I know because I know a lot of vocabulary, but my problem is how to connect the words together and make a good sentence. I can't find words. I know I need more communication, more use of language, more practice. Yes, I need more practice, but it takes time.
Can you understand when you're spoken to, or can you read big books and you're fine with it?
Yes, I have no problem in reading.
Then I think you're band number 6.
I don't. Yeah, maybe.
I think you're band number 6. If your problem is connecting sentences, then that will be easily fixed with today's class and classes that will come in for the IELTS.
Yes, I'm not full attention when you telling the differences between bands, because okay, as I told you, I'm working. Yeah, but I'm read them. I read them, and I think I'm band 5. I don't know.
I think you're band number 6, but inshallah, with more practice, you'll be better. Yes, somebody else wanted to speak.
Hi, Miss. Hi, Dr. Miad. How are you?
Fine. I'm good. Can you tell me your name? Rania?
Rania, yes.
I'm right.
Sorry, I'm late today because the link doesn't work for me.
Oh, that's okay.
I take time to enjoy.
That's good. Today, inshallah, we're going to be talking about writing and IELTS writing. And inshallah, I want you to use as many, other than writing, the things that I will teach you today are going to be good for you to seem more sophisticated when you're talking in general. Do you understand what sophisticated means? I know you seem more formal, like you're talking to your boss. When you talk to your boss, you try to seem more confident and English and stuff like that, even though it's just one word or 2 words you're adding. So Rania, did you attend or did you read the band scores that are on the screen?
I think I'm in 6.
You're in 6? I think so too.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna do great. You're gonna get better. It's easy, by the way, to go from number 6 to 7 to 8. It's easy once you're in number 6. It's easier. You just need a little bit more practice, and you need somebody to show you the few tricks. It depends on tricks.
Inshallah.
Anybody else? Anyone else?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I'm Muhammad. I just would like to share my story with you guys.
Go ahead. Yes.
I took the exam a long time ago in 2009, and at that time it was just like a challenge. I don't have any purpose for it.
Yeah.
Some people told me you can take it for migration or for academic, whatever.
Yeah.
I scored 5.5. At that time, I just took short courses, and I enriched my vocabulary around 6 months. It's just having some words, writing from magazines, newspaper, whatever. And I go to the exam. Indeed, I felt it's not that hard and not that easy, but need preparation and practice. I missed the practice part. However, for now, I think I can do like maybe 6 to 7. Oh, sorry, 7 to 7.5, around this.
Inshallah,
so,
that's very great.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Inshallah.
So hopefully to get good experience from this course. Thank you.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Mr. Muhammad, for telling us our story. That was exactly what I was trying to show in today's class, that this exam is not hard at all. Writing might be the hardest, but it's not hard at all to get a good score in this exam. It's a very easy exam. As you said, you just need to practice a lot. That's why I say again, please, people, participate. I won't be able to help you unless you start helping yourself and participating. Okay, let's go ahead and start with what is IELTS writing. Okay. IELTS writing, before ما نبدأ, IELTS في 2 types of IELTS. تمام? There are 2 types. There's academic and then there is general. Okay, بس ثواني معي. Academic, as you know, like both of them have the same thing, both IELTS. There's listening, reading, writing, and speaking. However, in academic, it is good for universities, professional institutions, not immigration, sorry, what was the word? PhD and so on, anything you want to enter or for studying wise. Okay, that's what academic is. General training is for general interest. It can be for a job, it can be for immigration, it can be for other things, okay? There is no difference between both exams, but except for one. As you know from last time, we talked about listening. There are 4 sections in listening, and you do them in 30 minutes. Okay, we did some activities also in that class just to know each other a little bit better, but inshallah, it's going to be more intensive. There's also speaking, as we know. You're going to have to speak up to 14 minutes, but that's something we're going to practice with time. And then there is writing. Writing has 2 tasks, task number 1 and task number 2. It's in both of them, they're both the same number of tasks, but there's only one difference that I will show you right now. First off, let's start with task number. What's the difference between task number 1 and task number 2? Task number 1 is smaller. You're gonna need to write. The writing exam is for 1 hour. So you're going to have to write for 20 minutes only in task number 1, and 40 minutes for task number 2. No more than that, okay? Because you're only gonna need to write for 1 hour. In task number 1, you're gonna have to write at least 150 words. Okay, maximum 200. So you're going to have, in these 20 minutes, you have to put 1 minute for counting the words. Even 1 minute is too much, but you have to make sure you count the words. Okay, maximum 200 words, minimum 150. No more than that. You're not even allowed to add 1 more letter. Okay, full stops and spaces obviously are not counted. Task number 2, minimum word is 250. Again, maximum is 300. So you only add 50. Minimum is 250. This one is more. Here in task number 1, they're going to give you a graph. They're going to give you a map. They're going to give you a process. They're going to give you a letter. I'll show you an example right now. However, in task number 2, in task number 1, sorry, again, you're going to have to mention facts, things that are in front of you. In task number 2, however, you're going to make an argument. For example, they're going to tell you, is it better that kids ride bicycles to school or their parents drive them to school? And then you're going to have to argue, why is this one better than that one? Okay, it's going to take more words again, and we have to focus mostly in task number 2, because in task number 1, only around 20 to 33% is counted. Okay, they take most of the marks from task number 2. That's the important one. Okay, here are a couple of links that will send you to writing task number 1 and 2. That will give you the graph that you need, or the writing that you need. It will give you an example of what they want you to write. And if you notice, like below in the links, there are a couple of suggestions from other students on what they wrote, and you can practice and then maybe send me the things or correct them for yourself. I'm going to send these links in the group. Give me a second. Again, as I know that some people just joined with us, there is an English group in WhatsApp. If you're not in it, please send your number or open up the chat. There are some information on how to get into the English group. I'm going to send these links right now. They're very helpful. They're very useful for practicing and for knowing more about the exam. Okay. I've sent the link already for task number 1 and 2. Now, here is what task number 1 looks like. They're going to give you a graph. I'm going to be using this graph for further on explanation. But for example, they're going to give you this graph. This graph is called a bar graph. Okay, there's also a circle, a pie chart. It's called a pie chart. There's also sometimes a line chart. It has like points, like 1 point, 1 point, and then they're connected and so on. And they even tell you on the paper here, at least 150 minutes, sometimes on the top, but I haven't put that photo on the top. They tell you take 20 minutes to write this, okay? You can like read the question from here, and this is what it's gonna look like for task number 1. In the academic. Now, in the general test, the one that is not for getting education, it's not for educational purposes, you're gonna write a letter. That's the only difference between both of them. Here, this one is for a letter. So when you sign up for the exam, make sure you sign up for the correct one, okay? General training is for just anything that you're interested in. However, academic, you can know it from the word academic.
Doctor,
is for, yes?
excuse me.
Yeah.
Can you slow down a little bit?
Sorry. Thank you for reminding me.
No, you are welcome.
Like I said, this one is for, what was it for? Academic. Okay, academic is, again, I repeat, academic is for universities, for PhD, for anything that you're going to be studying for, or anything like for studies, okay? The other one is for general training. General training is for interests, right here. Okay, that's the only difference between both exam, academic and general. That this second one, you're gonna write a letter. So you work for a company, you have seen some information online for training courses that would be useful for your work. Write a letter to your manager. Okay, you're gonna have to write a letter. Okay, but that's the only difference. They have the same rules, they have the same tasks, they have the same writing and listening and reading and everything, except for this 1 point in task number 1. Is everything clear so far? Any questions? This is task number 2. Task number 2, they're going to give you an argument, remember? Argument meaning, for example, the education you receive from your family is more important than the education you receive from school. To what extent do you agree with the statement? They're asking you here, the things that you learn with your family is better than school. What do you think about it? Here, you're gonna have to give me your opinion. Here, you only tell me what's inside the graph. Here, you tell me, oh, the green is more than the blue, and I don't know what. You tell me what's only inside the graph. You don't tell me, I think. You're not allowed to say that. In task number 1, you only give me facts, only things that are present in front of you. Task number 2, you're going to have to tell me what you think here. Do you agree with this? Do you agree with the statement? And your family, you get more education from family than in school. Okay, and here they tell you you're gonna have to write 250 words, maximum 300. They don't tell you that, but maximum 300. If you get 250, amazing. Like they tell you here, give reasons for your answer. So they want to know your opinion and include the relevant example. You have to give me examples of why you think, or give me, like, you have to convince me and what you're saying makes sense. Any questions so far? So task, this is the band score that usually I'm going to show you for task number 2, because task number 2 has higher percentage here they take 60% of the mark, or more than 60, sorry. Is it 60? Yeah, more than 60% of the mark. Does anyone want to read what they are?
I can read. Band score 5.
Yes. Who am I with talking to?
Yes, I'm Mohammed.
Yeah, hi. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Band score 5 does not completely address the task, may follow the general topic, but not the specific issue in the EC question. There is position, but it is not always clear. An opinion given is, please, the pointer just confusing me.
Sorry.
Any opinion?
Because others, yeah.
Because I'm trying to read and I'm trying to follow you. There is a position, but it's not always clear. Any opinion given is unclear. Possibly no conclusion. Main ideas are not developed. Some irrelative detail. For band score 6, addresses the task, both the topic and issue are addressed. Presents a relevant position. Any opinion given is clear. There is a conclusion. It may be repetitive or unclear. Main ideas are relevant. Ideas are not developed enough. For band score 7, addresses all parts of the task. All issues in the questions are answered. Presents a clear position throughout the essay. Any opinion given, apology. Any opinion given is supported in all paragraphs in the essay. Main ideas are relevant. Ideas are developed, but there may be a lack of focus with supporting ideas or overgeneralization. Band score 8 sufficiently addresses all parts of the task. All issues in the essay questions are answered well. Presents a clear position throughout the essay. Any opinion given is supported in all paragraphs in the essay. Main ideas are relevant. Finally, ideas are developed, extended, and well supported.
So as you can see here, thank you, Mr. Muhammad. As you can see here, they mainly want you to give a good base for the essay. They want you to give your opinion. They want you to give me examples why your opinion is good. They want you to convince them. They want you to give them a good introduction and a good conclusion. If you get all of these, you might get 7 and higher. That's what's important in all of that. That's the difference between each one. It's very small difference. And the only way you can get up high to that number is with practice. Okay, you're going to have to make mistakes. Once you know these mistakes, you're going to practice, you're going to be better. And after that, it's easy. It's so easy to get number 8. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Because we're going to take like 1 minute break, because after this, I'm going to give you a few writing tips, inshallah. Okay, I'm going to start with the 1 minute break. If anyone has questions, go ahead, open up the mic. I'll stop the music and ask me. Thank you, Rania, for reminding me that I am talking fast. Like I told you guys, I forget sometimes myself and I rush into things and it becomes worse. I speak faster and it becomes worse. So thank you for reminding me. If I do that again, please speak up. Okay. So hopefully so far what you read from the band scores is that, or what you figured out is that this exam is easy. It has a few tricks, few things that will make you go from score number 5 to score number 7 like this. Once you know what these hacks are or what these little things are, or these tips are, it will make a lot of things easier for you and to make the exam seem like it's easy for you. As I said, a lot of you already are at a very high score level. And inshallah, with time, and you're going to get used to these things that we're practicing together, and things will be easier for you. Now, I'm going to give you a small activity so that we can wake up a little bit. عشان the next part, I want you to have your paper and pencil in case you wanted to write some of these things that I'm going to give you, which are writing tips. I'm not gonna go into details about it. These are just some of the stuff. طبعا with time, we're gonna add more and more to the list. So, sorry. Okay. So, there are 4 differences in this picture. I would like you again to give me in full sentences. What are the differences if you find them? You may go ahead.
The 4 or I can mention one.
You can go ahead and mention one. You guys can use the chat as well.
The clock is different.
Can you say that in the full sentence? Is it possible?
The clock in the first picture is
What is the first picture,
one.
right or the left?
Huh?
Which is the first picture? You have to be more specific, right or left?
I don't hear you.
Which one is the first picture, right or left?
Right. Okay, wait. Left.
Left يسار, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, left.
Okay, so
it's, I think it's 12 to 10.
yes.
And the picture number 2, it's 12. It is 10 past 1 30 35. 1 past 40, I think.
Yeah.
10
so
past
too.
40.
Yeah. So the difference is on the clock, on the hands of the clock in the first picture is different than the hands on the clock in the second picture. These are called hands, in case like you wanted to know. They're also called hands of the clock. Yeah? Okay, second difference, thank you. By the way. Anyone go ahead. Ronnie, I have a question. Did you find the 4 differences so quickly or what?
Hi.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, in the left photos, the number of the columns in the buildings, showing like 5, 6 columns in the left photo, and the right photo is showing like 5 columns.
Correct. That's correct. The number of columns is different. All right, last one. It's the hardest one.
Yeah, I just spotted. There is a very tiny cloud on the right, missing on the right picture.
Yes. Where is the cloud?
The cloud is just above the bus, the right bus stop facing us.
Correct. That's great. Great description. That's amazing. Now you see how the way you describe these photos, that's exactly
Can
what
you
you're
repeat it?
Go ahead, repeat it. Yeah.
Can you repeat the last one?
Yes, there is a small cloud missing in the right picture. The cloud location, it's just right above the bus that facing us.
The bus facing us, right above it.
Yeah. Yes, here.
Okay, yeah. I found it.
Great job.
Yeah, thanks.
So the way you describe these photos are going to be used in task number 1. You're going to have to notice the little differences and then compare it. You're going to have to compare a lot of things. In graphs, they're going to give you 2 graphs and you're going to have to compare it. So that's why I keep on asking you for full sentences. Now, we're going to start with some writing tips. Okay, the writing tips, my favorite writing tip that I've learned since school and it has helped me ever since. It's called the burger method. Okay, how you make a burger, you have to get 2 buns, you have to get the cheese and the burger and the lettuce and all of the stuff. Okay, so the burger method starts with the very first one, which is the bun. The bun is the introduction. Here they call it thesis. I'll explain to you what thesis is. This word is used a lot in work. It's used a lot in school. It's used a lot when you're applying for something. I'll explain it to you right now. It's not that hard of a word, but it's just used so much, and a lot of people are confused. Even the ones that have a good level of English, they're confused on what thesis is. So I'll be explaining that today. So the first one is introduction. The second one is the actual burger. Here they explain just a few details about the paragraph, what the paragraph is. This is what the juicy part of the burger. Juicy part is like the delicious part. This is where you get all the information that you need. And the conclusion, it's basically just like the summer, just like the introduction. It's the same thing, but a little bit smaller, as you can see. It's a little bit smaller than the introduction. It tells you everything that happened here, but only in the small bun. Why is this like this one? I'll be explaining right now. It's because of the thesis. Now see, thesis is you're going to be mentioning 1 or 2 sentences. Okay, it should not mention more than 2 sentences at the end of the introduction. You have the introduction. Let's say the introduction is 10 sentences. The last 2 sentences, sentence number 9 and 10, is going to be your thesis. The thesis is basically what you are going to say in the actual burger or in the actual paragraph or the actual essay. So it is a summary of the essay and the parts that you will mention inside the burger. Understood? So that would be like me saying, I'm talking about like something, and then the end, I'll tell you, where is that? Give me a second. Yeah, so basically I'm going to start an argument. I'm going to start my argument and tell you, yes, schools is better than, for example, learning with parents, things at home with parents. Why is it better? I'm going to tell you a few reasons why I think it's better, and at the end, I'll tell you my final opinion is because this. And then in the paragraph, I start explaining to you, for example, my argument why I think it's better, giving you examples and so on. So thesis basically is the last 2 sentences tell you what is going to happen in the whole paragraph, but in a very small way. It's not detailed at all. It's usually more than 2 sentences, maybe 3 maximum, but not more than 3. But I like to limit it to 2 sentences. So I'm going to be explaining a little bit about the introduction. If you guys have any questions in the middle, go ahead, open your mic and ask me, because this is a little bit more intensive. Just give me a second. If you guys want to get your paper and pencil, please go ahead. Now, for the introduction, as you can see, this is the graph I showed you earlier for task number 1, okay? I'm going to be using this photo mostly to explain my points ahead, and together we're going to help each other write an essay. So if you want to start writing with me, that would be great. But we're gonna write a small essay about what task 1 would be looking like. At the end, we're gonna find ourselves, we finished a task number 1, and you're gonna find out that it's so easy and simple. Now, task number 1, the first thing you're going to be wanting to say and know, how does this look? This photo right here, what is it? What kind of graph it is? Okay, you're going to mention as a point. That's how you rough draft. Rough draft is writing small points on what each paragraph is going to contain. So first, you write the introduction. You're going to write the introduction, and then you're going to write.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not listening you because I haven't headphone. About what the essay?
You want to know what this essay is about?
I think you said we must write few sentence about what?
Oh, you mean thesis? The thesis is you're gonna write at the you have the introduction, which is, let's say 10 sentences. It shouldn't be 10 sentences, but let's say 10 sentences, okay? At the end, the last 2 or 3 sentences are going to be your thesis. These 3 sentences, okay? These 3 sentences are going to tell you what the whole paragraph or what the whole burger is going to look like, or what it is about. So let's say the paragraph or the burger right here, it has cheese, beef, and lettuce. Okay, so in the thesis statement, I'll write the first paragraph. Basically, I'll say Yes, it will contain cheese, and I will also explain the burger, and then I'll explain the lettuce. I'm going to mention these points, and then in the paragraph, I'll mention them in details. The cheese is yellow, it's square, it's like this, the burger is round, like, and so on. This is a silly small example, but that's what the thesis statement is. It's a summary of what the whole paragraph is going to look like. Is that clear? Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Let me check, yeah. So that's what a thesis statement is. The last 3 or 2 sentences are going to mention small points of what the burger or the paragraph is going to look like or going to say. Now, the introduction, which is the 10 sentences, first you're going to mention what does it look like, what is in front of you. First thing you're going to mention, obviously, is the paragraph. A rough draft is what is basically writing on the side, okay? You have, like I told you, you have the exam paper and you have the test paper, okay? You have the exam paper that shows you what the exam is, and then test paper, which is the thing that you give for the, what's it called? You give for the examiner will check. Understood? So the exam paper is going to show you this stuff, and on the side of the exam paper, you're going to write small, tiny little bullet points. The first thing you're going to write is this. You're going to mention what is the graph about. What is it about? It's about percentage of part-time workers in each country. Usually there's a title, and there's usually like a small little information on the bottom and on the side. So it's the percentage, it's already written, percentage of part-time workers in country of United Kingdom. These are United Kingdom. If you want to add words, instead of writing United Kingdom, you can write in countries of England, North Ireland, Scotland, Wales. You can write that down. And by then you can add in years of 1980 and 2010. And here they tell you the difference. So you can say that the graph shows me. It's what kind of graph, first of all? How does it look like? A bar graph. So the bar graph shows the percentage of part-time workers in each country, including England, North Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, between 1980 and 2010. That could be your first sentence. You explain the paragraph, you explain it very nicely, and it's very clear. Understood? Was that hard to come up with that sentence? Okay, moving on. So that's what the first introductory sentence is going to look like. You're going to have to mention the title. You're going to have to mention what's so different about the photo and what makes it unique, what's so distinct about it, and what does it have, what information you can see. And then you're going to write the thesis statement, what you're going to mention in the graph. You're going to mention here, they want you to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. They want you to compare things, okay? And they want you to mention the things that you're going to compare. So what are a few things? I want you to guys open up the mic and participate with me and tell me what are the few things that you can notice in the graph that are different. So here we got our first sentence. I hope that you guys wrote it down. You want me to repeat it?
In England, there is increasing of the percentage about 10% from 1988 to 2010.
Here, yes, that's one point that you can mention. So you write that down in your rough draft as a bullet point. Okay, what else? What else is different? That's like so obvious. It's in front of you. It's like, I don't want you to look into details. I just want you to tell me in general what's so different.
All percentage are increasing.
A bit
except Scotland. All of them, معلش.
Are increasing in 2010, you mean?
Yes.
Yes,
2010.
Yes, that's true, except Ireland. That's one great difference. You can write that down. You can write it later on in your paragraph. Okay, what else? So we have 2 points right now. The difference between these two. And an amazing difference that was just mentioned is that all of the blue ones, or all of the blue bars, are increasing except for Ireland. You can mention that in
England and Wales have more percentage or population than Northern Ireland and Scotland.
Correct. That's amazing. That's one more point that you mentioned. I know there, like for everyone else, I know it seems very close, but all of these sentences, the way you write them with the tips that I'm going to give you right now, it's going to make it look like it's a lot of information and it's different than each other, but they're all the same and it's obvious, but the reader wants to see this. So that's a great point mentioned, that England and Wales have the highest percentage compared to the other countries. Okay, one more point or two more points if possible. I'm going to send you a picture on WhatsApp on how I am writing my notes down so that everyone can see what it looks like. It's not something that everyone needs to understand, just I need to understand it. As long as you understand what it is and you can later on write from it, that would be great. But that's what your notes should look like, something small and short. You don't want to waste time. Remember, you only have 20 minutes here. Somebody open up the mic, go ahead.
Scotland has most smallest percentage in the past time.
1980 here.
In 1980.
That's correct. That's one more thing you can mention.
And Wales have the largest one.
Correct. Amazing.
Wales have been the biggest percentage at 2020.
10. You mean 2010. Yeah.
And North Ireland, it's have been the smallest.
Yes.
Percentage
Correct.
in 2020.
That's amazing. That's great. That is one more point that was mentioned before, but you mentioned it differently, and that's amazing. You see how each and every person mentions it differently. That's great. Okay. So these are 5 points that I can work with. Obviously, with time, we're going to add more. Now, how to make these little points. I sent you how the first 3 points are in WhatsApp. If you open WhatsApp, you can see that I wrote England is 10% more. It's a small sentence. It's literally 2 words, but I understand that the percentage between 1980 and 2010 is more by 10%. I also mentioned that percentage in Ireland is more. Actually, it's less. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that the percentage is more in 1980 compared to 2010. So that's a point I mentioned. I also mentioned that in England and Wales, the percentage is more compared to the others. See how I wrote them? It's only like 2 or 3 words that I wrote, but I understand what I wrote. Obviously, with different people, you can write different things, but this is how your notes or rough draft should be like. Now, how to make these sentences come together. You're going to write this in the paragraph or the actual burger. First of all, like you all said, the thesis statement, you're going to mention that in 2010 here, as you can see, somebody mentioned that the percentage is increased except in Ireland. Okay, you're going to mention that all countries have increased in percentage except in Ireland. You're going to make that one of your thesis statement. And since it's only 150 words, you're going to write only 1 paragraph. Like the burger is going to be only 1 paragraph. You're only going to put the beef. There is no cheese. There is no other stuff. Okay, because it's only 150 words. So you're going to mention that, or you can mention that England and Wales have the highest percentage compared to the other countries in other years. Full stop. That's your first introduction paragraph. And that would be amazing. That would be a great paragraph to start with. I know I'm going fast. I'm going to slow down a little bit. Okay, so now the actual burger, or what the graph is going to be like. You're going to mention the graph and you're going to use linking words. Remember how I told you you need to put all of these sentences together? This is one of the things that will make you look or seem more sophisticated when you're talking, when you're writing, when you're speaking or anything. And it's something that not a lot of people know, not a lot of people use. Even native speakers don't use it much. And this is the one thing that will increase your band by 1 score. It's called linking words. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but I'm going to explain some of them. Linking words are words you can use For example, when you're adding sentences or when you're adding a fact, let's say some of the linking words are also, in addition, moreover, furthermore, likewise, another, similarly. This is for addition only. Okay, these are 7 examples of them. Let's say, for example, I'm going to mention 2 things. For example, in the photo or in the differences, when he mentioned that the cloud on top of the bus is present. However, also he mentioned that the clock is different. So you're gonna mention these 2 things together. Okay, you're gonna add those 2 points in one sentence. So you're gonna mention the cloud on the bus is present. Also, the clock is different. Or in addition to the cloud on the cloud above the bus, there is also the clock that is are different. Or you can say moreover. That's when you're adding to another point. Moreover, other than the clock being present, there is a clock being different. The cloud on top of the bus is different. All of these words, you can put them so you can add more words to your paragraph. And these are like the words that you put so that it brings the sentence together, make it seem more sophisticated. Is that understood? Another usage of linking words is but. When you want to use the word but, instead of saying but, you can say however. On the other hand, despite, in spite of, in contrast, although, meanwhile, instead of saying the cloud on the bus on the right hand is present. However, on the right side, it is not present. Or you can say the cloud on the bus is present. On the other hand, it is not present. Or despite being the cloud found in one picture, the other picture does not have it. You can use, instead of using the word but, you can use these words instead. They make you seem more sophisticated. It's the only way I can even explain this. And they make you seem like you're confident in what you're speaking, and it gives you a great boost later on when you're writing. And another way to use linking words is when you're mentioning stuff in order. First point, the graph shows me that Wales is bigger. Second point, the graph shows me. So these are like some of the linking words you can use instead of mentioning 1, 2, 3. Firstly. Secondly, finally, last but not least, above all, before, after. These are some of the linking words. I'm going to be sending a whole table right now of what the linking words look like and more examples for them. If you the more you memorize, the better it will be later on for your exam. The more linking words you use, the more it shows that you know vocab. Even if you don't know a good vocabulary, if you know these words, that means you know good vocab, or you seem more like you know what you're talking about. Another linking word usage would be comparing. This is what we're going to use mostly in this graph when we're comparing between 1980 and how it's higher in this one and lower in that one. Similarly, or like same, equally, likewise, unlike, similar as, in the same way, just like. So far, are the linking words understood? Do you understand the purpose of linking words? It makes the sentence, one, makes it whole, makes it more sophisticated, and makes it look like you know what you're saying, what you are doing. So, is any questions so far?
No for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead either way. So here we're going to talk about, or we're going to write the paragraph now. First of all, we wrote the first introduction. We did great. You mentioned the percentage is part-time between this year and this year. And in the thesis statement, we wrote that either we wrote that all of them are high except for North Ireland, or we can write that England and Wales have a higher percentage than these 2 countries, than Scotland and Northland. We mentioned the countries as well in the introduction, and so far we did great. Since we mentioned the thesis statement, we're going to compare. We already showed that we're going to compare between these two or between these three. All right. So this is what we're going to describe right now in the paragraph using the linking words. So remember the points that we mentioned. The first point, I think Rania mentioned it, was 10% difference between England and between 1980 and 2010 and England, correct?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, who mentioned it? I think somebody mentioned it. Can somebody or anyone just give me the sentence that we wrote for using the rough draft that you guys wrote? Can you give me a sentence using the linking words? I already sent the linking words in the group. So go ahead, take your time and give me the sentence. The ones that I mentioned on the slides are the main ones that people use most of the time. If you want, I can go ahead and start with one.
England is similar as well. Both of them, they are increasing, or they were increasing.
It's similar as what?
As Wales.
As Wales, yeah. Both of them are increasing, but also Scotland is increasing, if you realized. Yeah. So you can mention, instead of mentioning colors, because the color means something, huh?
Yes, in this period. Yes.
So can you fix it? Mention what the color means.
In 2010.
Yeah.
England, Scotland, Wales have a similar increasing in 2010
compared to 1980. That's amazing. That's a great first sentence. That's amazing. Great job. Thank you. I'm glad that you used the linking word. You used two actually, even, which is amazing. One more thing I forgot to mention, if you use the linking word at the beginning of a sentence, you write a comma. So you write however, comma, or similarly, comma, also, comma. You understood? That's something that you guys need to learn. Whenever you use a linking word, at the beginning of a sentence, you have to write comma. What is comma بالعربي؟ ممكن تقول ليش comma بالعربي؟
شولة.
شولة؟
شولة. Yes. نعم.
تعرفي المعلومة دي ما كنت عارفاها؟ No way. شولة. شولة.
نعم.
اوكي تعلمت حاجة جديدة بالليلة. الضمة دي شنو؟ الضمة دي بخطوها فوق الكلمة صح؟ فتحة ضمة.
أيوة.
كويس شولة. اوكي. تعلمنا حاجة جديدة الليلة. ما أعرف إيش الكلمة دي صدمتني. Okay. That's a great first sentence. Can somebody add to it? Okay, when you're adding to that sentence, you're gonna start with in addition, or you're going to compare something. Say however. So go ahead, somebody else. We need around in paragraph or in the middle. The more words you say, obviously, the less sentences. But you need, let's say, around 12 sentences at least to have a good amount of words. And at the end, you're going to have to account each word and word until you get 150 or 200 maximum. Okay? المشكلة لما you get, for example, 201. When you get to 101, you have to change the whole sentence to make sure you get to 100 exactly. Okay, so come on, people.
Let me try.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. In addition to Northern Ireland, Ireland.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. It was increased in 1980. Yes, 1980.
You can write the number. Yeah.
But it decreased in 2010.
However. instead of but.
However.
Yes. Okay.
However, it decreased in 2010.
That's amazing. Great job. That's good. That's the second sentence. All right. Somebody else, you can go ahead and try. Thank you for participating. Come on. I'm going to give you some of the sentences some people mentioned, and you can make it into a good sentence you can write, or some of the points. So far we mentioned that the blue columns or bars.
Let me try again.
Go ahead.
About Scotland. It was in 1980. It's in 2010. It was more increase.
Yeah.
It was more increase. If it compare in 1980.
Yes. Okay, that's a great sentence. Can I fix it, or not fix it, but can I make it better?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I understood where you're going, and that sentence is amazing. My mind is even like, it has so many ways I can write it in, you know. You can say that, and furthermore, when you're adding something like more information, you say furthermore, comma, in 2010, in Scotland, in 2010, the percentage increased drastically. I use the word drastically when I say like in a big amount. When I say big amount, is drastically. It's another word, like in a huge amount. It increased drastically compared to.
It's graphically.
Drastically.
Start from G.
D. Drastic.
D. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it down on WhatsApp. So it increases drastically compared to the other countries since 1980. You can say that. Or there's so many ways you can write it in. Okay, we need one more person to give me one more sentence. Guys, don't be shy. Yeah, go ahead.
Although all countries are increased, North Ireland is decreased in 2020.
Can you repeat the last part? North Ireland is what?
Is decreased.
Yeah, it has decreased.
In 2020.
And 10. Yes.
And 10.
Amazing. That's a great thing. That's a great point to mention. See, all of these, if you mention all of these as points, that would make a great paragraph. Okay, and that's like around, so far we got like 6 sentences, which is amazing. I think.
Excuse me, the period in the past, how can I express this topic in present?
Can you repeat the question?
The period of the task in the past. Yeah. Am I right? I could express it in present or not?
So you want to express something in the past in the present?
No, I say it was decreased or increases. What?
Yeah, you say it has.
Have to.
It has increased. It has decreased. Or yeah, when you're saying like, when you mention, it depends on the sentence. I think those classes, the grammar classes, are on Tuesdays with Mr. Salah. He answers those questions, I'm pretty sure, better than I would.
Tamam.
Okay. Anyone wants to go ahead and try, or give me one more sentence?
Wales and England shows the highest percentage for part-timing for both 1980s and 2010.
But that's untrue.
Wales and England.
Oh, Wales and England. Okay, yeah, I didn't hear
Yes,
the first.
only. Yeah, I said
Okay.
Wales and England shows
Yeah.
the highest part-timing for both 1980s
Where is
and 20.
the linking word? Why don't you use
I'm
the
just-
linking word?
I would like to use it later because I would like to link Wales and England with Northern Ireland and Scotland because it seems there is like a big contrast between them.
Yes.
So my
true.
linking words like this,
Yeah.
I will say Wales and England has the highest percentage of part-timing working for both 1980s, for the both period of 1980s and 2010s, compared to Scotland and Northern Emirate for the same interim or for the same period.
That's amazing. That's an amazing sentence. Great job. That's you deserve a round of applause.
Thank you.
All right. So that was amazing for paragraph or the actual burger, like we call it. I'm hungry now. So let's take 1 minute break. Okay, so you can gather up your thoughts. If you have questions, go ahead and ask me. But the linking words is the secret to pass this exam. Please, I sent you a picture of some of the linking words that you need to use. I mentioned the main ones that are used mostly in the slides, and inshallah it will be available on YouTube. I will update you on furthermore on that in the English group. If you're not in the English group, please go ahead and send your number in the chat or find the information that will tell you how to join us in the English Club WhatsApp group. Any questions? Okay, we're gonna go ahead. We're almost done with today's class. So for the conclusion, the last part of writing a sentence. So far, you guys did a great job. You wrote a great introduction, a great paragraph. And now for the conclusion. The conclusion is the summary of everything that you wrote. Okay, you're gonna re-mention it again, but in a different way. Oh, it's written right here. So you're gonna have to re-mention the thesis, okay? You're gonna have to summarize the facts inside the paragraph, and you're gonna have to tell us the results. What is your final findings and all of it, okay? So some of the linking words for concluding or for the conclusion paragraph. Like I said, remember that the burger has to be the same because, again, the thesis statement is mentioned on the top and in the bottom again. But in the top, in the conclusion, it's mentioned in the first two sentences. Linking word for the conclusion, as a result, to summarize, in conclusion, to sum up, in short. Oh, that's it? Okay, that's it. Now, for the conclusion, like I said, you're going to have to mention these 3 points. Can somebody give me what a conclusion would look like according to the rest of the sentence that you have mentioned? The conclusion could, for example, the last person who spoke, I think it was Hamad, I'm not really sure. The last person who spoke, his sentence was great for a conclusion. In conclusion, we can say that England and Wales have a high what's the sentence again? Wait, let me find it. I wrote it down somewhere.
Wales and England has the highest part-timing percentage in 2010 compared to other Northern Ireland and Scotland.
Thank you so much for repeating. That's amazing. Thank you. And yeah, that could be a great conclusion, like the beginning of a sentence conclusion. And then you can mention, you know, like a few more points about it. A few, like 2 more, like conclusions in the first task can include only 3 sentences. It doesn't have to be more than that, as long as you get to 150 words. Okay, so we can mention his point. We can mention also that in 2010, the numbers the percentage of the part-time workers in the countries of the United Kingdom, you can re-mention this part again, has increased. However, in North Ireland, it has not as appeared or as showing or as it shows in the graph. You're trying to add as much words as possible, obviously, as you can see. The last sentence could be, what could the last sentence be? Can somebody help me out? All right, the last sentence could be that as shows, give me a second. You can say the last sentence could be to summarize the number of people working on a part-time job has been increased during the 3 years of the 4 countries as studied. That's it. That could be your ending sentence. And if you look at this paragraph or this essay that we just wrote together, I've never written it before. I just posted the picture, and for the first time, like I've written it with you guys. I've seen the amount of work that you guys put is amazing, and the way that the paragraph was written is amazing. Obviously, it's not written by hand. You're gonna notice the mistakes better. You're gonna have better ideas when you're writing it down with your hand. So like I said, if you want to go ahead and give this graph a try, go ahead and send me what your final result or final sentence is going to look like. Like I said, I want you to write it down, not type it, because the exam will be written and you need to get used to timing yourself. So when you write it down, please time yourself how much time it will take you. You don't have to try and finish it in 20 minutes, just write how much time it will take you. It should not take you though more than 30 minutes, inshallah. But for a first time writing these sentences with you, it was so fun and it was amazing, the work that you guys like put in it. And I'm pretty sure that you guys understood some points. So I would like to give you this final activity with us for the day, where I want you to find 12 differences. And I would like you to use the linking words if possible. So go ahead, open your mics. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me in the middle. But I sent you the linking words in the group. I see some people are being added in the group. Go ahead and use the linking words and tell me the 12 differences in the picture. I'm going to help you as much as I can.
I want to mention one.
Go ahead. Try to use linking words, please.
Okay. There is in the first picture in the left. The left picture.
Okay.
There is no problem. There is a small pond behind the bottle of jar.
Yeah, I found it.
There is a but.
However,
there is no. However, there is no in the picture. The second picture.
Yes, the opposite picture. That's great. That's amazing. That's the one right here. I'm gonna try to use the pencil. Okay, one more. How many more? I don't even know how many more. But go ahead, people.
The frosting on the cake.
Which can you describe it more, please?
The frosting above the cake in the first picture.
Which is the first picture? Right or left?
On the right, I think.
This is the right? Am I here? Okay.
Yes. It's different in shape in the second picture. However, it's different. However, it's different. The purple frosting.
This one.
Yeah, the purple frosting. Yeah.
Okay. Can you repeat the sentence?
The purple frosting above the cake in the first picture. It's different. However, in the second picture.
How is it different? You have to mention how it's different.
It's more longer than the other one.
It's longer than the pic on the second picture. That's correct. Amazing. So far we have two.
Also we have the ice in the glass.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you say the sentence?
Yeah. The amount of the ice in the first picture.
Try to use linking words. Since you said two sentences, go ahead and mention furthermore or moreover. Any
Yeah,
of the linking words.
It's less than the other, moreover than the other girls.
No, you go ahead. You mention in the beginning. Moreover, like you mentioned this one first, and then you say moreover, the number of ice cubes in the glass is different from in the first picture than in the second picture. Yeah.
The ice is less in the first in the first glass. Moreover, it's more in the second glass.
What I'm trying to say is use the linking word moreover in the beginning of the sentence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Moreover, we have the less ice in the first glass, and but we have
than.
It's less than the other glass.
Correct. That's a great job. Amazing. That was a great sentence. Those are two great sentences together. Keep it up.
In the left picture, we have more strawberry than right.
Where's the strawberry?
Strawberry in the top of cake or bread or something.
One, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Can you mention it with the linking words if possible? Or is it hard? Without the linking words, just describe it.
Other linking word in the left picture we have less strawberry than in right.
Great job. That's amazing.
I try.
Go ahead.
I need to try. Okay. In addition to. In the picture in the left, there is the picture in the right. There is a dot, a red dot behind the cupcake. However, it's disappeared in the next picture.
That's great. Amazing job. That's amazing. I wanted to mention though, you said in addition to, don't use the word to unless you're going to mention something. So you could say that in addition to the strawberry being present, there is also the spot is present here and not present there. You have to mention something if you say the word to. So you can say in addition, and then you can mention the point. All right?
Okay. Okay.
But that's great if you're trying to add more words.
Add to this.
I'm sorry?
Add to this. Add to this. Add to this.
Yeah.
The lemon slices in the right one are more than in the left one.
That is true. Great job. In addition, you mean. Okay, you say in addition, and then you mentioned the lemon slices is more or has more lines. Great job so far. Where are the men in the group? I see only ladies interacting. Okay, so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Amazing. I think it's so hard. I've read somewhere that ladies notice the differences faster than the men than men. So maybe that's why they're not interacting as much. Can somebody please prove me wrong? Let's prove the the scientific research wrong.
Let's give it a try.
Go ahead.
On the left hand picture,
yeah,
there is a small cake in a purple color.
This one?
It has a top. Yes, this one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It has topping of 5, maybe raising. I don't know what is this.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces.
Yeah.
Compared to the other one,
okay,
it has more than 5. It has a 6.
Correct. That's amazing. See, that's so small. Great job. So you guys do know you can't see the differences. That's good. They proved it wrong. All right, go ahead. I'm going to try and help you a little bit since I've noticed a few. I'm going to mention one with you guys if you don't mind. In the pie on the left, somebody wants to
mention. I can mention one else.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. In the left picture, the lettuce in the burger.
Yes.
The lettuce in the burger. It is divided to two parts. The right part, it have more. Yes, here.
Wow, I did not
more
see that
than
one.
The left.
MashaAllah,
Yeah.
my brain exploded. Okay, that was amazing. I think we have found enough number of differences and you guys know how to use the linking words. I'm glad that some of you used it. Does anyone have any more questions? Any questions, you may go ahead and ask me right now. But for today's class, we are finished. Alhamdulillah, I think you guys did a great job. نعيد الشكر لمعهد مهند للتدريب الإداري والقانوني على تعاونهم مع المنصات المساند أبناء الجالية السودانية في الإمارات، ونخص الشكر للمدير العام للمعهد الأستاذ مصطفى المكي السنجاوي. Thank you so much for attending today's class. I hope that all of you